how do you get richer or build wealth faster? Now, I got for you guys some very interesting facts that the average person never shares with you. And here they are right now, guys, okay? The first fact is that basically the average millionaire has a 9 to 5 job. And by the way, I read that in a book, okay? And by the way, the book of the day is going to be The Millionaire Next Door. And that's by Thomas. I don't remember his full name, but it's by Thomas. That I do remember. And in that book, he goes into detail about basically what is the real millionaire like? How do they really build wealth? Because, if you guys are like me, kind of like grew up in America, you see basically like the millionaire has, for example, the mansion, the girls, and, like the gold chains, the cars, all these things. But then you read the facts, you read the data, and you find out that basically, hey, that's not really the average millionaire, okay? It really isn't. So who actually is the average millionaire? Well, I'll tell you exactly who they are. The average millionaire has a 9 to 5 job. They have not made over 100K a year on average. And then on top of that, it takes them on average like around 15 to 20 to 30 years to amass that much wealth. So in reality, building wealth of that caliber, over $1 million, becoming a millionaire, it is going to take some time. However, though, today I'm going to set you up to make sure you get there a lot faster. And don't forget, okay, to me, let's make some definitions here. When I say becoming a millionaire or building wealth to getting richer, I mean, for example, having more money come in than you actually have going out. Meaning, if you make 20K per year, right? But you only spend $10,000 a year, well, you're set. You're good because you have a 10K surplus. That means, to me, you're wealthy. If you make $1 million per month and you spend $1.2 million per month, well, you're broke because you have way too much money actually going out. And you're always like in this struggle. By the end of this video and by the end of this whole thing here, the goal is for you guys to kind of say, well, when I'm done with this whole plan, I can kind of say if I want to work, it's because I want to. If I want to do anything, it's because I want to, right? It's not because I have to. It gives you the power of choice. To me, financial freedom gives me the power of choice. Money enhances your quality. So if you are a very given person, loving person, whatever it is going to enhance you the ability to give more and do whatever you actually want to do, okay? So that is all that money actually is to me. Now, the very first thing is, guys, that I want to talk about is basically, how do you first get started when it comes to building wealth? Well, the number one thing that you're going to need is going to be, hey, you need to have seed capital. And by the way, guys, I got like this whole presentation for you guys, and I don't know how to actually put it up. Let me just try for a second here. Let me see. How do you actually get it up there? Okay, so this is a presentation right here. Let me zoom it in, and then boom. This right here is actually the presentation I have for you guys today, okay? But this is right here, okay? You have seed capital, and you have skill, and you also have job. Now, what is the difference here? When I say you need seed capital, and by the way, let's make some definitions here. When I say seed capital, you need the initial money to start building wealth. If you never have any money to kind of plant and put away and to actually build wealth with, you won't be able to do anything. Now, where do you get this money from? First thing is you have skill and you also have job. Two very different things. There are jobs out there that you don't require any skills whatsoever because they'll train you like in 2 weeks or a week. Like McDonald's, Burger King, Chipotle, all these jobs out there like Walmart. It's very simple to go ahead and get those jobs. So I call them jobs. And it's 100% okay to get any job possible because those jobs are going to be the seeds to your wealth. So I want you guys to remember that always, okay? Never be embarrassed about, oh, but I don't want to work there. I don't want to do that. No, that is your seed capital. Every doctor is like some person at Walmart working or somewhere out there, right? Because you got to start somewhere. You could be, for example, working at Walmart or McDonald's, and people don't know this, but you're actually getting, for example, your bachelor's or your trade school degree, or, for example, a license. So it doesn't matter where you work. It matters what purpose you actually work there. I worked at the Gap. Was it the best job ever? No. I worked at a supermarket. Was it the best job ever? No. I worked in my college. I had a lot of different jobs. I worked at a gym in the data entry level where everyone which is strange, was very unhealthy, but is like the gym. Strange, but yeah. Is it the best job ever? The answer is no, but it is a job. And a job is what you basically use to fund yourself to then fund your wealth. So transition here. Whenever you have a job, whatever you do right now, what you just do basically for money. By the way, guys, drop a comment in the chat, guys. Okay, I'm seeing you guys here. We got like 5 people here. Go ahead, introduce yourself in the chat. Let me hear about you so I can give you a shout out and see exactly who is in the chat. Okay, the whole point of these chats is not for me to come on here and be like, yo, what's up? It's for me to come on here and talk to you guys one-on-one and answer your questions and do my best to kind of help you guys out as much as I can. So drop your questions in the chat, introduce yourselves. That way I get to know you guys better. Okay, that's the whole point of this entire like live stream. But again, you have a job, which is something you do for money. And then you have a skill, which is something that you actually work towards building. So that can be, for example, the skill you want to have is you want to be an accountant. You want to get into finance. You want to get into management. You want to get into being a doctor. You want to be a plumber. You want to be a lineman. You want to be whatever it is, right? That's your skill. The skill is the thing that you actually work towards to earn you a good amount of money for your time. Now, usually my rule is I want to get a skill that makes me at least a minimum of $40,000 per year, because with $40,000 you can actually do a lot. With $20,000 is just a lot harder, because you're kind of like almost like you can survive and you can invest, but it's take a lot longer. If you have a skill that makes you $40,000, you'll just be a lot better. Now, I don't just want to leave you guys there, okay? Because it's very important. What is up, Kenneth Jackson? I love that name, man. Shout out to you, Kenneth Jackson. So when you're picking a skill, it's very important you use the top 10 rule. Meaning you want to write down, I say this all the time, it gets repetitive, but I think success is repetition and doing things that are successful. That's the whole thing of success. So yeah, the top 10 rule basically means you write down your top 10 skills that you actually want to acquire, whether it's an IT, software engineer, coding, I don't really care what it is, right? But your top 10. And then you do like a research paper on each of them. So this one takes this long to actually get, will cost me this much. I have to do this, I have to do that. Just like the whole thing. This is like a whole research paper on each career. Take time on this, like at least 4 to 10 hours. Just basically, this is the skill you're going to go to college or trade school, dedicate 2 to 4 years for, and then come out and work for a while. So make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Make sure you like it. I'm not a fan of, I'm going to work a job that I hate just to do fine, right? What is good, Janene Rods? What is up? What is up? Any questions, comment down below, guys, okay? But overall, you want to pick something that you actually are happy with, you actually enjoy, and don't confuse being happy with like the Hollywood, I love my job. Just something that you actually enjoy, rewards you with, like, it challenges you also, but it makes you money, right? And you're also good at it, because that's also very important. So once you have a job, you have a skill you're working towards, okay, great. That's basically your seed capital. That is what we're going to use to actually build you wealth. So what is the second step here, okay? Well, if you guys want to talk to me, let's take a break here real quick. If you want to talk to me, guys, one-on-one or have any questions, I have a link up there for the Zoom. So you click the Zoom link, I will talk to you one-on-one on Zoom. You don't have to show your face on YouTube, that's fine, but I have to see your face. That way, I know you're not like a troll or anything crazy, okay? So that way I know who you are, but you don't have to show your face on the Zoom. And again, it is free. So feel free to actually join me on Zoom if you actually want to. The link is up there, and I'm going to have Zoom right here on the side to make sure that I know when you guys actually join. So feel free to join me on Zoom if you are ready. Oh, Janine. Did you know English is not my first language? Did I ever say that? It's true, I'm such a I'm a visual person, a listening person. I'm not really like a word person. I'll say that. But overall, thank you for joining me. Rods, I appreciate you a lot. Come on the Zoom and then introduce yourself in the Zoom. That way I know your name and I actually get to know you as best as possible. If you want to join me on the Zoom, join me on the Zoom right now, okay? However, what is the next step here? Well, if you guys notice here, right? I'm pretty sure out of the 9 people in the Zoom right now, which is, in this live right now, all of you guys have a different situation. You make different amounts of money. Some of you guys make more, some of you guys make less, but equally, most of you guys, you you might not be, for example, wealthy or exactly where you want to be. So how is it possible, for example, hey, I make $20,000, I'm broke. He makes 40K, he's broke. He makes 100K, he's still broke. She makes $200,000, she's broke, right? So obviously, the amount of money you make is not the problem. The most important thing is going to be this right here. Let me pull it up in the little presentation, guys, for you guys to see it here. Is this, you have to be able to lower your expenses and control your expenses. Right here, we have like a wall and we have 6 buckets. I am going to break this down for you guys right now, okay? But the idea is, how do you lower your expenses? What's the Zoom link? The Zoom link is the link that is actually pinned all the way to the top, and I just shared it again if you actually want to join me. There you go. But overall, every budget has 4 walls, the most important things ever, right? You have shelter, utilities, groceries, and transportation. They're like burnt into my head by this point. But those 4 things right there are the most important. So if you're able to manage those 4 things right there, you're able to save a lot of money. Meaning the house the rent, for example, the apartment I get or the house I buy, make sure it's not more than 1/3 of your income. No more than 33% of your income. Utilities, keep them low. Groceries, no more than $200 per person. I hear this all the time. Tommy, I spend $500 a month on food, and it isn't even organic food. That's the crazy thing to me, okay? So you want to make sure that everything is solid. Somebody just joined the Zoom. Give me a second here while I break down, for example, what is good, Ian? Give me a second here, Ian. Keep yourself muted for now. Give me a second. I'll join you in a second. But overall, yeah, so everything's fine here. Give me a second, Ian. So overall, once you have those 4 walls right there, you want to manage those expenses as best as possible. The bad way to do it is basically people get an apartment, that's shelter. They pay half their income to. They get utilities. They get everything. They go crazy with that. Oh, I need the fastest internet. I need this. I need that. Okay. Groceries, they spend, for example, $500 at Whole Foods for no reason. And then transportation, they get a 2022 car or 2021 car with a crazy car payment that they basically cannot afford. That's not what I want for you. And then you have, for example, if you control those, you're able to keep your expenses very low. But then you also have, for example, the 6 budgets, right? The 6 buckets of the simple budget. That means your money should be split in 6 different jobs, meaning you have, for example, emergency money. So if anything goes wrong, you have investments, money to actually invest and multiply. You have debt. If you have debt, you want to pay those things off, obviously. If you have you have expenses, so money for your core expenses, those 4 foundations, right? Those 4 walls of a budget. And then you have money for fun and money for charity. So if you have those 6 things you kind of worry about and have basically a good understanding of, you're able to have your money do all those jobs, but most importantly, grow your wealth at the same time.